Atlanta Hawks drafting the next Domantas Sabonis? And in this video, I'm going to break down who I'm talking about, how this individual can help the Hawks at the next level, and also, spoiler alert, how this individual can help the Hawks get an all-star, maybe Hall of Fame type player on their team if the chips are moved in the right direction. Now, you're probably out there wondering, okay, I'm all in. Who are you talking about? I am talking about Maryland center Derek Queen. Now, Derek Queen is a baller, and a lot of people thought he would be a top 10 pick, but there were some circumstances in regards to draft and his measurable draft combine and his measurables that have him slowly falling in the ranks. And if the Atlanta Hawks have the ability to get him with the 13th pick, I would say let's go all in and let's move the needle right now. Now, this is further explained by the Zach Langley tweet that says this: 2 prospects are confirmed to have met with the Hawks at the combine so far. It's Colin Knuppel and Derek Queen. Both are projected to be picked before Atlanta makes their first selection at 13. And I would have said that day one. Those 2 guys are going to be gone by the time the Atlanta Hawks picked, but Derek Queen slowly is falling in the consensus ratings because of his draft combine measurables. Now you're like, okay, what are you talking about? What draft combine measurables are you talking about? And I'll read you this. Maryland Derek Queen's official measurements from the NBA draft combine. He was 6'9", barefoot, which is still really, really good size, but not the size that a lot of people thought he was. He was 247 pounds. He has a 7-foot wingspan, which is very long, and he's 9'1" standing reach. So he is a big individual, and he does have length. But the kicker was he didn't do so well in his agility drill, and he didn't do so well in his vertical drill, which have a lot of combine experts as well as GM saying, okay, Derek Queen is really not that athletic. Now, NBA and athleticism go hand in hand, and for teams who wanted an athletic kind of big man to help with this offense, they're scratching him off because he's not the most athletic guy. But I will say this: Derek Queen is a baller, and if a team decides to pick him up, he will have immediate impact going forward. Let me read you this tweet that says this: Derek Queen was one of the most productive freshmen in the country during his lone season at Maryland. He struggled in the shooting drills at the combine, but his game was not built for that type of setting. If drafted to the right situation, his skills as an initiator of the offense will shine. He scored 16.5 points last year. He averaged 9 rebounds and 1 block per game. Derek Queen is not going to be your high-flying, dunk-on-your-head type person. That's not his game. But similarly to Domantas Sabonis and Zach Randolph, he will be able to score on the low block and also facilitate offense from the low block, something that the Atlanta Hawks may need going forward. I have made this comparison. Like I said, Derek Queen is more of your Sabonis type, very skilled, not really just going to just jump over you. Doesn't have a 40-inch vert, but he is a guy that will get the job done in comparison to Asa Newell, who's more your high flyer, can dunk on your head, more the John Collins, Jalen Johnson type, but can't really initiate the offense and really can't get his own bucket. And so those are the similarities and differences between those 2 players, Derek Queen and Asa Newell. Now, how can this person help the Atlanta Hawks going forward? Derek Queen, like I said, is a certified bucket. And at the end of the day, if you need to get or you need to score, or you get in a situation where you need a bucket, Derek Queen can give it to you. Also, going forward, if the Atlanta Hawks have questions of their second unit, how do they get scoring? How do they initiate the offense in the second unit? Derek Queen can be your guy. Like I said, not only is he very skilled from a guy being 6'10", 6'11", 6'9", 6'10", but also he is a great passer. And if you need to throw the ball down him on a low block and he find the open guy, he'll do that 9 times out of 10. So Derek Queen could be a pick for the Atlanta Hawks depending on how the dominoes fall. Now, a couple more steps I want to say. Derek Queen, we know what kind of player he is. He's not your high flyer, but he's a guy that can get a bucket and initiate the offense. How does he fit with the Atlanta Hawks right now? To be completely honest, not so great. Because the Atlanta Hawks do have Jalen Johnson and Onyeka Okongwu. Both kind of, Jalen Johnson's not undersized. He's playing the power forward. But Onyeka Okongwu is kind of an undersized center. And if you put Derek Queen with Onyeka Okongwu, I feel like they have similar skill sets in a way where you're just you're just doubling down on a player that you already have. Now, it comes into question when you start to think about trading for a bigger asset or an all-star. Now, when I would say this, Derek Queen to me is a power forward just because of his size. 6'9" is power forward in the NBA. And if I'm the Atlanta Hawks, and if I'm trying to get an all-star or Hall of Fame type player like Giannis, there are some moves you have to make on your offense. And I would say that would include potentially trading Jalen Johnson. If you end up trading Jalen Johnson for Giannis, you have a spot left in your forward or your power forward spot. I think Derek Queen can fit right in, and his skill sets basically complement Giannis's skill sets very, very well. One, Giannis is kind of a rim runner, guy who's big, can basically protect the paint. Not that so great of a shooter, not so great of an initiator, but just a really, really freak specimen. In comparison to Derek Queen, who could be that initiator, can be that low block scorer, and also can play off of Giannis. You can have a two-man game with those two, and imagine trying to stop that. So Derek Queen, if you think about drafting or if you think about trading Jalen Johnson and maybe Onyeka, Derek Queen could be another great option to kind of fill in and secure that back end, especially if you're able to get Giannis going forward, which is something that a lot of people are saying that the Atlanta Hawks have the best non-draft package to give up for Giannis. Now, all this to say, Derek Queen is a phenomenal draft prospect. And if you're able to get him with the 13th pick, and if he's there on the board with the 13th pick, he's a guy that you got to bring in. Just because, like I said, the initiation, the offense initiator, like I mentioned, but also his ability to score with the second unit, that's something that Atlanta Hawks struggle with. And Derek Queen can also offer some defensive protection. He wasn't a high-flying blocking individual, but he can offer some defensive protection. And he also was a very good defender, despite his lack of just high-flying measurables. I will also say this, Derek Queen is a winner, and we've seen him take a Maryland team, which a lot of people said didn't have a lot of players, to a level that without Derek Queen, they would have never gone. So shout out to Derek Queen, just breaking him down. And the Atlanta Hawks have the ability to draft him, which I think is not plausible, but very, very, very likely. And if you want to see the Atlanta Hawks draft him, leave a comment down below. Say Derek Queen for the win. But if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And if you want to see more videos like this, check them out right here. And like always, peace.